I keep thinking of this book, The Tale of Two Cities. I always understood the premise of this book intellectually. But I think in the last couple of years, I can understand it with my heart. The opening paragraph of The Tale of Two Cities, you've probably heard the opening line a million times. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. It was the epic of belief, it was the epic of incredulity. It was the season of light and the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope and the winter of despair. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven, or we were all going direct the other way. I don't know. I think I actually read the Cliff Notes of this book, because it's like healthcare bill long. And I think it's long because it's the epic story of struggle. And that's where we are now. We are in an epic struggle. Keep a journal. Tell your children, because now we are in the fight of good and evil, right and wrong, survival versus destruction. Which one will you choose? A guy who's influenced the last 15 months of my life, and quite honestly, Eric Metaxas wrote one of the best biographies of him ever written. And I told him, actually, he was over at my house a couple of weeks ago, and I said, Eric, I haven't been able to finish it. Because he corrected me on a couple of facts. And I said, Eric, I put the book down. He said, why? And I said, it's too personal. I can't finish it. But he has affected my life. I have told you this line many times on this program before. Silence in the face of evil is evil itself, and God will not hold us guiltless. None of us were born without a reason. None of us were born to sit back and relax and just watch the show. Wonder what's on the tube? What's happening? We're all here for a reason, for a purpose. We all are a puzzle piece. We all have a role to play. And the more we all just hang out and say, not my problem, where's the government, let somebody else fix it, the more we'll have of this, and more we'll see this happen. Our neighbors, many of them, may have been unplugged for some time, and it's going to be uncomfortable for them to re-engage. It's going to feel like a massive change, but it's not. The good news here is we don't have to change. We're already the people we want to be. It's not a change. It's just a reminder of who we really are. It's a reminder of right and wrong. They're already embedded in each and every one of us. It's written on our heart. And it's different here. Maybe it's written in a bolder pen, because America has been exceptional for a long time. America is great because America has always been good. All we need to do is recognize what makes us great, and then stand up and be good. The Christians United for Israel event is in Washington, D.C. on July 19th. I don't have a lot of friends in Washington, D.C., so please come and say hello. July 19th in Washington, D.C. You can go to glennbeck.com for more information on that. You just saw an outpouring of support from total strangers and neighbors in Joplin. And I believe it can not only help the people in Missouri, but it can inspire the country to dig back inside of themselves. You'll notice that the people of Joplin were not crying tears of joy because FEMA trucks showed up. It was the people, it was the neighbors, it was average Americans who just did the right thing and acted quickly. They didn't sit there and wonder, when's the government coming to send help? And people were helping not because they were told to, but because they felt it. They wanted to, not mandated like a government agency. This is real charity, and there is a huge difference. Others will turn a blind eye to American exceptionalism, and they do so because they don't believe that America is good in the first place. They don't believe she's great because Americans aren't good. Americans inherently will make selfish decisions that will hurt the collective. Uh-oh, that sounds like trouble. So they believe the best thing to do is restrain and regulate people. I believe the average American still believes the exact opposite, but that is fading. Jeremy Hoven, he is a 36-year-old Walgreen pharmacist in Michigan. He's been working the night shift since 2006, and in 2007, that Walgreens was robbed at gunpoint. But since that time, he claims the store did nothing to improve the security. So he was already a longtime gun owner. He got a concealed weapons permit, and he started carrying during his late night shifts to protect himself. Well, that paid off earlier this month when two masked gunmen burst into the store and tried to steer all of the employees into a back room. The opportunity presented itself for him to grab his gun and get a couple of shots off. He unloaded across the store at the criminals. It's believed that one gunman tried to fire back with his gun, but that gun failed. They left the store, they ran, and no one was hurt. Now, how's this story end? 10 years ago in America, I think we all know how the story ends. Today in America, well, he believes he did the right thing. Police investigating said he did the right thing. All the employees at his store who they feel he saved their life and they feel he did the right thing. So is he good or is he bad? Good or evil? Well, now according to OSHA, he's bad. Today he is out of a job. He was fired by Walgreens over the incident because apparently he broke the federal OSHA regulations that prohibit employees from carrying a gun while at work. Wow, when is common sense going to take place? When are people going to stand up and say, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me? They are taking away our ability to think for ourselves and protect ourselves. Fox Nation recently had an article, it was yesterday, about a conversation with Sarah Brady and President Obama. Now, Sarah Brady is the wife of Jim Brady, a guy I think is a hero. He's the poster child, however, for gun control. That's not the part I really admire. I admire the fact that he served our country honorably, and he suffered a massive head wound in the Reagan administration during the Reagan assassination attempt. His wife has been pushing for gun bans ever since. She recently spoke with President Obama, who, according to Sarah Brady, brought up gun control and said, quote, "I just want you to know that we're working on it. We have to go through a few processes, but under the radar," end quote. The President of the United States is saying we're going to do this under the radar? Now I can see why the Obama administration won the coveted Transparency Award, I guess. Does this seem like a good thing or a bad thing? To work on gun regulations that will affect millions of people and their rights under the radar, by hiding it, by lying, by cheating, under the radar in the cover of darkness. Is this the American way? Can I say the American way anymore with Superman going to the UN? Truth, justice, and the American way. America becomes great when we encourage each other to live to our highest self, our highest ideals. We should start holding up heroes and looking for role models and punishing the bad guys. If you've been watching this program for any length of time, you know that I have been, shall we say, nervous about this so-called Arab Spring. I believe people want to be free, and they want liberty. And I believe the people of the Arab world aren't any different than you and I. But from the beginning, I have had my doubts that that's what we were watching because we are watching something that has been planned and orchestrated from the beginning. From the beginning, we have seen the seeds being sown of a deeper hatred for Jews. It began to sprout, or we started to notice it really, when al-Qaradawi, the spiritual leader of the Muslim Brotherhood, spoke to 2 million Egyptians about wanting to kill the Jews himself. It manifested itself on the Day of Liberty, so-called liberty, when the crowd of hundreds just around CBS's Lara Logan were chanting "Jew, Jew, Jew" while they were raping her and, in her words, trying to rip her scalp off. The ugly harvest of anti-Semitism has been bountiful. Yesterday, I showed you a clip from a children's show from Hamas. I want you to watch this, because we found more. I want you to watch this. This is what is being shown to children in the Arab world. Watch.
عشان هيك حبايبنا الأطفال الصهاينة المجرمين كل يوم بيخططوا بيفكروا بهدم المسجد الأقصى بالتأكيد. بتعرفوا ليش؟ عشان يبنوا بدله الهيكل المزعوم.
قد نزل عقاب الله عليهم، وكان هذا هو العقاب الذي يستحقونه. وهكذا مسخ الله أولئك العصاة إلى قردة.
يجب أن يتربى الولد على حب الجهاد والرغبة في الاستشهاد في سبيل الله، فشجرة الإسلام لا تروى بالماء وإنما تروى بالدماء.
محمود دار چرا هیچ چیزی نمیاره. اوکی برو من هواتو دارم پشتتون برو. برو بس برو راست ببین کوچه بعدی خودش میری وسط برج.
America, how is there any Arab Spring? Why are you not seeing these images? In the next month, I told my staff today to scour for these images. I want to show you what no one else will show you. In the next month, I am going to show you good versus evil. And you decide. This isn't about politics. This is about the end of the Western way of life. This is good versus evil. I urge you not to miss a single episode. What you will see on this program in the coming month, you will not see anywhere else.